And with option A, there's no increase to multifamily rates?
Correct.
Okay, so basically, even though multifamily refuge is running at a deficit, we're really using the commercial, if we go with option A, hiking the commercial rate to make them subsidize the multifamily unit. Is that a reasonably accurate way of painting the picture?
Relative to the complete fund balance, yes.
Okay.
That's why we brought back option B, to make sure that each individual category was breaking even.
All right, so the 1398 can be compared to perhaps the average monthly rate for residential of $20 and or $23.24 for Claremont before the raise, that we're currently paying, right? When I look at table 3, for example, under Claremont, it's $23.24, and that's that's for the
that would be for the single
what an
family.
average family pays for in Claremont.
That would be for a single family residential fee for
A 64-gallon,
correct.
which is large.
But that's
For-
average, so.
Correct.
You cannot compare multifamily rates to the residential rates, because remember, in that rate for residential at 2324, that includes refuse, green waste, and recycling. In multifamily, there is no green waste program. It's just refuse and recycling.
Some of them, do they all even have recycling? They don't. That's what I thought.
So,
So they're getting less service and need to be paying less than a
Correct.
single family.
Correct.
Your
That's
new
what it
information
is.
basically begs the question, $23.24. How much of that is trash collection?
But right now, it's all trash. The fee is based on trash collection. In theory, it's the
The
residents.
cost, yeah,
the
not how
cost.
much they pay, the
Right.
cost. How much of that $23 is due to trash collection?
As opposed to green
Disposal?
waste
Green
and
waste and recycle and all
recycle.
that sort of stuff.
the black barrel.
Right.
That's the only thing
Yeah.
you can charge.
We don't have that broken down in this analysis. We'd have to bring back more information on that.
I guess basically what I'm trying to derive at is at $13.98, are they paying more or less than the residential residents? Because the residential residents get, quote unquote, more
Right.
service.
Well, again, residential gets one cart for service. And multifamily, you might have a bin, or you might have multiple carts. So again, you're not comparing apples to apples when you're comparing multifamily to residential.
For my family of 3, if I live in a house, I pay so much. If I move in an apartment, would I be paying more or paying less?
You would be,
For trash collection without all the other,
if you lived in a residential, moved in an apartment, you'd be paying less.
Because this is for the number of bins, not the number of residents?
It's because it's based on the number of units in a multifamily complex. I mean, if you
This
have.
price is per unit?
Right, it's per
Average.
unit. It's per unit. So if you have a multifamily complex that has 100 units, then you're going to need a bin or multiple carts to collect all the refuse.
okay, let me try to satisfy my curiosity by asking a slightly different question. What percentage of our cost is associated with recycle collection and green collection? How many trucks do we use for recycle collection and green collection versus trash, Seems like with the residential customers basically get picked up 3 times on a trash day versus the multifamily housing who gets picked up once, okay? Even though the volume is the same.
Well, they get picked up twice because they get recycling, some of them.
If they have recycling, yes.
So if that's the case, assuming my simple calculation is correct, picking up once versus picking up 3 times, they should incur a cost roughly a third of the $20 or $23. But that's obviously not the right answer. And I'm just trying to figure out whether we're overcharging the multifamily, even though our analysis shows that they're underpaying their fair share of the cost.
If I may, I think staff has an answer to your question. I think
Okay.
there was I think your question was, if I had a family of 4 living in a house, it's $23. If I have a family of 4 living in an apartment, it's $13. That's your answer. They get picked up, same amount. They're a family of 4 in an apartment, it's $13. 23 for a family of 4 in a residential house.
Yet our residential rates are lower than others,
No, our residential rates are the highest in.
But
but they're not,
may I follow up?
we're not considering
We're
raising
not-
them.
we're- no,
Because they carry
absolutely.
themselves.
Because they carry themselves and they're very high.
Mhm.
But multifamily is not carrying itself, and that's the reason. In all reality, if you took that same family of 4 and put them in an apartment complex and you want to be equal, you're going to charge $23 if you have the same equal pickup. But that's not, and that's
They don't get
part of
green
why
lights.
So they get
it's a
paid less.
lower rate.
Okay.
Okay, so if I combine my trash and the recycle, which is probably the amount of trash I would generate based on the head count in the family, I would have to rent a bigger bin because the 64-gallon probably won't handle it if that's the average for residents, strictly for trash. And the fact that the multifamily pays $13.98 is substantially less than a container that's bigger than 64 cubic feet. So maybe on that basis, the question is answered, saying that, yeah, the multifamily is paying less than what an average resident would pay if they were getting the like amount of services. So,
I've never
Okay.
looked at trash that
And
much.
that's
Pretty good.
Talk trash all the time.
I do too, but not, yeah. I do have a question, or the practice in Claremont, the standard is that the residential pays what it costs, as does currently commercial pays what it costs. In other communities, the practice is that commercial subsidizes the residential, correct? I mean, commercial subsidizes residential in most
But
collection.
in Claremont, it's just the opposite.
I will indicate from my past experience in a couple of communities that in fact is true, that commercial subsidized residential rates to
That's,
some extent.
that's pretty typical from what I've seen.
Yeah, and on our rate survey, we cannot confirm that, but as Mr. Park said, from other cities that I worked for as well, yes, that is a practice, that commercial will subsidize the residential to keep residential rates low.